I'm sorry. So, Brandy, Wonder Man, you've made it through 4 episodes so far, and you like what you got so far.
I think
And
initially I was like, I don't know what the tone is. I was a little off kilter in the beginning because you just, you kind of, this isn't a show that runs into what's going on, which I enjoy because I'm a dialogue person.
right,
And I really enjoy watching this world get built. I think that the sets are really nice. I love the color grading. There's something about the way that they shoot, like especially in his apartment, like the apartment that he walked into when the girlfriend was there and the apartment that he walked into after the girlfriend left doesn't look the same. It's like
Right.
yeah,
the color is unsaturated, or
it,
so. It's just
it's
very
darker.
interesting things that
It's down.
they
Yeah,
Hmm.
did with that. And I do, all jokes aside, I really do enjoy Yaya in his work. I don't think he works
yeah,
enough. I don't think he does enough. And everything he does, I really, really enjoy him in.
yeah.
I don't know anything about this character. I'm going in completely blind.
A
I
lot of people
enjoy
are.
just watching this develop. I've watched a couple of breakdowns, a couple of reactions, and I think so far people, it's pleasant, and I feel like it's building, and I like that I can feel that this is taking me somewhere. It feels
It's not
like
wasted.
every episode is taking me somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know
Right.
where this is going to end up. I don't know how this is going to blend into the greater MCU
Yeah,
because this feels very stylized.
Hmm.
And while
So,
they are bringing in elements of the MCU, this doesn't feel like I could see Tony Stark in this. Even Tony Stark, not Iron Man. Like it just doesn't feel
right.
like Doctor
Yeah.
Strange belongs in this world.
Right.
Mm,
So I
okay.
don't
this.
know.
Okay.
But other than
So
that, I
what
just
I've
am really enjoying it so far.
I'm really enjoying, and I think I'm only like maybe an episode ahead of you. I didn't really know
I'm
what to
interested.
expect
I'm like, I
with this
didn't
show.
anything.
Yeah, no. I didn't
Nobody
know what to
does.
expect with this show. Um,
Wonder Man is
Simply
not popular.
because when you watch the trailer, you know that Simon Williams is an actor and he's going for the role of Wonder Man. But as a comic book person, as a geek, I know that Simon Williams is Wonder Man.
Right.
So I was trying to figure out like how is this story going to take us from Simon Williams, struggling actor, to Simon Williams, superhero? Like, what are we? Is he going to be auditioning for a role to play a superhero? And then we saw some of the trailers and the teasers, and I was like, still confused. I didn't know what I would be watching. So I just sat down and started watching the show. And I am very pleased with what feels like cinema. This
Mm,
show is honestly just so
Yeah.
damn well done to the point where, first of all, it's extremely meta that we have actors
yes.
playing actors
Mm.
and giving us moments when they are acting that suck you in more than when they're acting. That
Hmm.
takes me a minute because when Trevor Slattery starts acting,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, that shit was
Yeah.
dope. You know what I'm saying? It was like it's so cool. And then when Simon Williams started acting, like the shit was moving. Yaya was so good as Simon Williams doing these auditions. I want to go back and watch Candyman just because it's something else he's done that I haven't seen.
Mm,
And it has to be good to a point. So I want like that's the kind of impressive stuff we've gotten from this show so far. The dynamic between Ben Kingsley and Yaya, they work so well together. They play off each other so very well. I absolutely love the character of Trevor Slattery. Like, and like you said, I like that they're bringing in elements of the MCU, but this feels like the real world from the perspective of something that happens in the MCU, which is good in that you know it's connected in a way, but it's a standalone story. It doesn't matter where he was during the Battle of New York. Doesn't matter where he was when Thanos during the, like none of that stuff is relevant to this story. and it allows this story to stand front and center. But everything, like you said, the cinematography, the visuals, even the audio. I can't. When I tell you, I checked my phone like 3 times because just the simple audio that they have when somebody's phone on screen rings got me looking over at my phone like it's my phone.
Yeah, it did that to me twice.
And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, my little surround sound setup, it's you know, it's nice. It ain't the greatest or anything. Sound bar and 2 little wireless speakers, but it's like the phone was ringing over there and he reached that way to grab the phone. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's those little details that make you appreciate so much more. And then for those of us who are like, you know, enthusiasts and like just live for this type of stuff, you got just so many Easter eggs packed in this series. Just so much goodness. It opens up, you got Rogers the musical in the background.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There's tons of little things like that. And because this is LA, Hollywood, actors, we're getting to see like real things happen in the MCU. These are events that feel like real world events because a lot of stuff that happens in the MCU feels like theater. It feels like a movie. It's, you know, fantasy. This feels like reality show or something. You know what I'm saying? This feels like real people and we're just watching the events unfold. Not quite a documentary. It's not, you know, it's not like The Office or something like that where they got the camera crew following, but this feels like real people who are really auditioning for movie roles. And it's I've enjoyed everything I've seen so far, and I had no idea that it was going to be what it was going to be. But it's every bit a superhero story. So it's like, yay. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's doing exactly what it needs to do, and it's doing it very, very, very well. So I can't wait to finish this and come back and talk about the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. I know I was definitely ready to hate on this shit. I'm pretty sure I was not interested in it. I didn't even have a fucking Disney Plus account at 5 o'clock. I got through 7 damn episodes.
Wow.
This shit, and I just want to say fucking kudos to the writers. There's a care that's going into writing these characters, and credit to Yaya. I'm not yelling out Yaya, but you know, homie, you did a great job. So you know, you did a great job. But reality of the situation is that I don't know if the script is just that much elevated or Kingsley is just that great a goddamn actor. There are times where that script is fucking poetic. And I mean, it just flows. And there's not a lot of wasted dialogue or space anywhere in the episodes that I've watched. Everything has a payoff. Everything is important. Everything is necessary to the story. And the way they're developing it and the direction that they're taking this story, I gotta be honest, even though I wasn't expecting it that way, I'm fucking glad y'all did it that way. If there's any way that you want to get people involved emotionally in a character, they're doing a really great job of building Simon's character.
Yeah.
They're doing a really great job of humanizing Trevor. They're doing a really good job of that. And I feel like where this fits ultimately in the Marvel universe at some point in time, I really don't. I'm have no expectations for that. But to be honest, I really hope that we get multiple seasons of Wonder Man, because these are characters you need to develop. Like they wrote this story in a way that you really want to see what happens to them. Every episode I watched, I was like, how are they going to get out of this? How is this going to develop? Even with you knowing certain things are going to happen, certain situations are going to develop in a certain way, you're still interested in how it's going to happen and what's going to be the outcome. They just did an absolutely great job at writing, and they did a great job with the acting. Everybody took it seriously. Everybody bought the A+ game. I mean, S tier fucking acting. The side stories are not even can't even be considered filler, right? You can't even
Shaken.
consider the side stories filler. Like,
I was the mom's scene with him was
Yeah.
beautiful. Like,
yeah, yeah. So please, whoever's on this writing staff, Marvel, please keep them. Just keep them and let them do more work, man, because they're paying attention and they just feel like they love telling good stories because we're getting a good one right now with Wonder Man. So thank you for giving me hope.
Yeah.
This pixie dust. Can you cue in some Disney pixie dust like flying over my head?
I'll see what I can. I'll see what I can find.
Had Tinkerbell
See what I
fly
can
in
find.
and yeah,
Yep.
I think so. At this point, I'm like halfway through episode 4.
mm,
I kind of echo, what everybody's saying. The acting has been very, very good. I think that tonally it's different from the studio, but I think that it's almost like a cousin show or brother show to the studio, because subject matter, first of all, is talking about how movies and television shows and how just that industry like works. And I think the thing that I'm feeling that they're conveying a lot is how much like anxiety is how much anxiety just surrounds just like both sides, that where the studio kind of is, you're seeing it from the executive side and it is more humorous because you can punch up at the rich people. I feel like Wonder Man is very, very grounded, and you feel like how much he wants it, and the more he wants it, the more in his head he gets, and he overthinks it. And he's talking about his process. As somebody who lived in LA for like 9 years, these are all things that I've heard the people around me who wanted to be actors kind of talk about and deal with and experience. I think that the decision for Marvel to separate studios from television, from animation, has been one of their better decisions. I think their whole like everything's connected and we gotta, the TV is the homework for the movie and all that stuff. I think them recognizing that that doesn't work is great. I think that, from what I'm seeing after 3 episodes, I would love to see more of this, but I think, even the spotlight aspect of it, them putting that in the front, like, yo,
Right.
this is not a Avengers whatever story, like whatever y'all see in here, don't be like one, who knows if Wonder Man will return or not. But I think the idea of them saying like we have so many characters and within our world we have so much space for us to go small and craft these really powerful stories about characters who matter and characters who might not matter on a global scale necessarily, but like
Yeah.
that's not all comics are about. That's not all that like every when we really were talking about the street level thing that they tried to do with the Jessica Jones and the Daredevil and Luke Cage, those still felt so big that you're just like, but why wouldn't the Avengers like notice what they're doing? But this at
mm,
point kind of just feels more like this just a man with some powers trying to live his life, not somebody who's like, I'm being recruited for a blah. And I think tonally Marvel is showing that like the whole having powers thing, I think this starts in Civil War where it's really the focus. And you see a lot of this with Hulk as well, where it's like there is an element of the desire to control the people who have this power and not just let them be free walking entities with their own free will. And I think a lot of that
Yeah.
kind of has a good tone that feels like it's leading into what you feel when you think about like X-Men and how people feel about mutants and stuff like that. Like up until now, we really have had a world that has seen and embraced heroes and embraced superpowered people. But I think Marvel is at an interesting place where they're starting to show that there is a potential for a shift or a split in public sentiment
right.
around the idea of superpowered beings. So I'm I have enjoyed what I've seen so far. I think the acting, I agree, the writing has all been superb. I think Yaya and Ben Kingsley's chemistry has been just like off the charts. Like
Mm-hmm.
that mentor relationship, um, the tone, the they just they have found they have a rhythm and an energy between them that really works. And I think even if they don't do another season of Wonder Man, I think taking this approach to a lot of the characters, I've been a proponent from day one of, obviously I know X-Men is going to be a movie, but I have been a proponent day one of, I would love to see a lot of different characters just introduced in their own like mini series or anthology series where we just like follow them for a couple quick stories and see who they are before they get to the X Mansion or before they get to the Avengers or before they get to XYZ. Like those kind of quiet moments that we got to have in the first Captain America and the first Iron Man and the first Thor before everything after that was just like, well, they gotta have the
Bigger and
Avenger
bigger.
eventually.
Yeah.
So, but those early movies had those, the quiet moments, even in that Edward Norton Hulk, where he's like working at a bottling plant in Brazil. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of stuff that I feel like this Marvel spotlight thing can get us back to. I think like if they had taken this approach to like a She-Hulk or even like a WandaVision, it might have been like, as good as much as many people enjoy WandaVision. I think that the tether to the movies has too much sometimes impact on the story because it's all about how does this connect to the
The movies.
theatrical
Yeah.
releases. But I think
Yeah, it's
that
true.
there's comic books that do not connect to the Avengers and do not connect to the X-Men. And
at
those
all.
characters are interesting and they're fun and they're cool. And when they show up, it's cool to see them. And it gives people, something who don't, maybe somebody who doesn't want to go watch all 50 movies in the theater, but they would love to see a story about a person who lives in this world who has powers but is trying to do this thing or trying to do that thing or trying to do
Yeah.
this thing over here. I just find that to be, after however many years of the Marvel universe, I find this to be a fascinating approach to a world that we've already built, right? It's like we got
Yeah.
buildings after buildings after build, like we got all these giant skyscrapers and it's like it's cool, but like where are the people gonna live? Where are the houses? Where's
Right.
the neighborhoods? Where's the parks? Where's the community? You know what I mean? And I think those are the things that I see getting flushed out with like the animation and the studio and the spotlight like series. And
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it continues personally.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
one last thing. Um, and Jeff, you kind of, when you talk about stillness, and I'm talking about stillness in a different way, but also I've said this before. To me, the mark of a truly good actor is what you can do in silence. What can you convey without really moving, just you in your stillness. And I think there's so many moments of that in this series where so much is being conveyed and nothing needs to be said. And it's just like, it's like good music. And also shout out to Joey Pants. I was really happy to see him. I'm just always
Yeah.
happy to see
Yeah.
him.
Damn.
So-
Every time I have steak, I think of you. Like that same, because that's just like that'd be first thing. I want it to be thick,
Spoiled.
tasty, and juicy. Yeah. You know,
This is a
I like
spoiler.
the Marvel Spotlight. The last one they had was Echo, and Echo was a nice standalone series that had some ties to other things, but that wasn't the focus. The focus was Echo, and Wonder Man has some ties to other things. Obviously, with the character of Trevor Slattery, there's my man is all interconnected. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like just having him in the series tells you how MCU this is.
Yeah.
But this time, honestly, like having Trevor in this series is more accurate to the character, I believe, than having him in Shang-Chi. While I loved him in that, and I think he was a nice addition, this actually makes sense for him to be there. And it was just kind of odd for him to be in Shang-Chi. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, did they throw him in to kind of like, that's how it's connected. Because, hey, there's Trevor Slattery, and he was the Mandarin.
Oh, it's because he was impersonating the leader of the Seven Rings. So the leader of the Seven Rings.
Leader of 10 Rings,
yeah. So, yeah.
And I mean,
and it's like
again,
you painted yourself into a corner because of the connectivity. You've already shown us the Mandarin. We know that the Mandarin and the rings are connected. So you can't tell us a story about Shang-Chi that involves the rings and not address what you've already done with the Mandarin if this is connected.
Right.
Versus here, he gets to kind of be free of that.
Be himself.
Like it's like people know him. Like, weren't you like the Mandarin?
It's funny because in this one, I feel like this is how it needs to be better addressed by him. Like, hey, you're that guy. You're the Mandarin. Yes, that was. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's clearly trying to separate himself from that.
Right.
But it's still a very big part of who he is and why we know him in the MCU. And so I feel like this is just so, you know what I'm saying? Like, this fits. And
just love him. All they need from me is Jeffrey Wright. Just bring Jeffrey Wright in, and it'll just be my trifecta of lovely actors that I just love to see act.
And like I said,
I ain't mad at that one. I wouldn't be mad at that one.
I'm very happy when they have their moments and you get to actually see them like switch on and act.
Yeah.
That to me is phenomenal because it's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like, you know what? It's like when you hear singers who can do the double octaves. It's like they were already singing wonderfully, and then they hit these other octaves, and you're like, what? That's what watching them act.
People don't understand that is Sir Ben Kingsley. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that man is holding his own next to Sir Ben Kingsley, and that is huge. That's like holding your own next to Anthony Hopkins. Like, not being overshadowed in a scene with Ben Kingsley is you good. You feel me?
And it's funny because when there's a scene where the two of them are talking in Simon's apartment, and they're doing like monologue. They're like monologuing.
He does that. I paid really close attention to that part.
Like, he does a monologue. Then he does a monologue. Then he does a monologue. Then he does a monologue. And you just watch how they both kind of get wrapped up in watching the other do their monologue. And you can see the genuine love of cinema that the characters have.
Yes.
But it's such an impressive feat of acting coming from these actors playing actors.
These actors playing actors.
They're playing the dude playing other dudes. You know what I'm saying? It's so impressive, and it's like
that is what is really, really impressive. Yeah. Is that it's them being actors, playing actors, then occasionally having to act as part of being an actor.
Yeah,
and then it's.
I can't wait to finish the series.
When this is over, I'm gonna watch the last episode, and I'm
I'm gonna go ahead and finish.
What was his line? Would you like me to get some change?
Would you like to charge it to the room?
Would you like to charge it to your room?
Like, why is that a whole thing? Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, then by the time he said it, I was like, yes, you can charge it to the room. Like,
right? No, when he said,
please. Yeah, I know, right? The way he went into it.
I'm gonna say though, I completely understand the way his brain functions. Like, you can't tell me that Simon Williams is he's definitely neurodivergent. He is not neurotypical.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, not even
because like, and let me tell you something. I
thought they were trying to make a point of that when they showed him as a kid. I was like, they must,
Yeah.
And so it's like, I could immediately understand why, even though it's just this one line, he got a whole backstory for this character, who he is, what his motivations. And I mean, it's like, you hear it's always been kind of a joke whenever you watch movies or TV shows and someone's an actor and they always say, "Okay, so what's my motivation?" You know what I'm saying? You hear that dumb line, and I've never really like I know what it means, but I've never really understood what it means. I'm watching Simon Williams, and now I truly get what the hell he means when he says, "What's my motivation?"
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah.
I was in some plays in college. I was in our school's version, our production of Hair. And it was just like, after a few days, I'm just like, y'all got to explain to me how this black dude running around with all these white people in the 60s. And I literally pulled the director to the side. I was like, you got to explain this to me. Because, like, I'm from the South. So I don't get this.
This is like, not how this was.
If you telling me to go back to this time period?
But California, though. In California, was a little different. Oh no, they were in New York in Hair.
They were in New York, but
they were in New York.
Also, and I'm just like, you gotta, because when I think 60s, keep your eyes on the prize. Oh Lord,
the Emmett Pettus Bridge. Like,
yeah, that's where I'm at with it. So we hold a hand singing "Let the Sun Shine In." I gotta make sense of this. Right. He was like, here, like, look up this, watch this video, just go home for the day. I feel you. But yeah, I think I'm your bike. I hope this is boding well for the future of Marvel television. Because personally, I would rather watch a bunch of Marvel TV shows than go see a bunch of Marvel movies. I understand that the Marvel movies are necessary, but I would much rather, like, these are the kinds of shows that remind me of the types of comic book stories that I like and the aspects of the comic book stories that I really, really like. And so, like, if Wonder Man shows up in the movie, it's like, yeah, like, I love that guy. Like, we went through so much together.
Yeah.
But it's like, when I go see the movie, I'm like, I better love you because I paid this money and you put all this effort and I've been watching interviews and all this.
Facts.
Yeah, like, you got me doing all this. Also, it better be somebody I mess with.
I want them to say that. Then say that. Don't introduce the character and leave things open-ended, like the He Who Shall Not Be Named. Tell me this is a one-off and end it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just and it wrapped up so nicely. Love it. You know what I mean?
I'm talking about you, Moon Knight. Talking about you.
Just saying. Just a whole bunch of doors that was just wide open, and they was like, and fuck you.
Season 2, please.
Zombies.
Right. And if we have to look at season 3, what if? How is Blade now with Khonshu? That by itself is like saying something without saying something.
What if had a season 3?
Yeah, it takes a while to get through it.
Not if you don't watch it.
Boondock season 4.
That can happen.
Up on it. Thing that exists.
That can happen.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, no. Technically, it was Marvel Zombies, and that's where we had
I'm just saying
Blade. So,
I don't mind. Like, Werewolf After Dark. That was a great little show. You know, I had a nice time. Living in that world, and when it was done, I was done, and that was okay. If you're gonna do one-offs, like, I don't feel just that Hawkeye was left open-ended. I don't feel like there was much left open at the end of Hawkeye that I was like, wow, we did not get resolution from that. Like, I feel like they wrapped it up. They wrapped the rest of it up in Daredevil and Echo.
Yeah, they clearly was like, cool, we got your nice little show. Now we're gonna graduate you to the movies. Gonna team you up with
cool, got it, established. I don't need a second season of that show. Move me on to Young Avengers or wherever the fuck she's a part of, and let's go there. But Moon Knight, y'all literally left like 18 balls in the air. Like, what?
The way they closed that out just by showing the third person, and you know, I'm not even putting a spoiler alert up there for it because it may not damn matter, but the way they showed that third personality at the end.
That's all I'm saying. I would have been happy with it ending exactly the way that it ended. And then, okay, that character, we sewed that up, done. Right? The bad guy's gone, we're away, good, moving on.
You need a reason
So
for
if
that
this
cash
ends
grab
like
later.
that, great. But don't end this with now Trevor has powers and Wonder Man is holding the building up and there's a meteor coming. And then, oh, sorry.
Yeah, they be waiting too long.
Sam
'cause these
Wilson, I've got my
motherfuckers be
eye on
old.
you.
Right.
Yeah, I know, right?
And you know,
I don't,
it's
you
funny
know.
because that actually reminds me of a line, and I thought it was kind of funny because when Simon is talking to his cousins, and his cousin's like, "Oh, I just love Captain America." He's like, "I mean, he's just a guy that throws the shield, right?" In that moment, I was like, "They talk about Sam Wilson."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, "They talking about it?" Like literally that. Because at first, of course, I'm just like, my mind is stuck, and I'm just like, "Oh yeah," it's like, "Okay, this is present day." Da 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 da. They talk about Sam Wilson. That's why you know what? That's clever. Like it,
I'm
you know,
just,
and it's a lot of moments like that. It
I
really
don't
keeps you.
mind if they decide to do like a cameo. I really, really don't want that cameo to interrupt the flow of this world. Stop
No.
making
Hey, Wonder
that damn
Man.
face. You
What's
stop
up, Wonder
making that
Man?
face. You know I hate that face.
Wonder Man.
That is like the
I
weirdest
hate
smirk in
that
the world, ain't it?
face. And I keep thinking, I'm like, oh, they're gonna try to give him a romance with somebody, and I just can't. I can't.
What's up? I'm Captain America. You want to be an Avenger, Wonder Man?
No, somebody was like, "Oh, Yelena," and I was like, "Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that."
Actually, you know what? It'll be cool because it'll be a double cameo because they both come to recruit him to the Avengers, and the Avengers with a Z. That's how they.
Like,
That's how,
he's like, I'm an actor, guys.
yeah. It's like,
well, I don't know, like, how does that work? Because you said that
Well, he just blew up a studio.
you said
so
he's
West
already
Coast,
West Coast
West
Avengers.
Coast Avengers.
okay.
Yeah, and see, and
So
again, but let me don't know because I have no.
I don't know.
idea
I'm like, well, then,
what MCU is doing with it. And I just want to be clear with that like I know the basics of Wonder Man. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's connected to other characters at different points. He's like all intertwined through a lot of different stories, and he's kind of an important guy. So when we heard that there was going to be when I heard there was going to be a series Wonder Man, of course, I'm like, oh wow, they're let's go. But I mean, honestly, just in terms of the character, to put it in perspective, I could see someone like a Henry Cavill playing Wonder Man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like that, and that would have been like a spot on look as far as the character.
Okay, so Yaya's got a good build for the character.
Yeah, let me tell you, when he was walking through with that jean jacket, I was like, this
the shoulders. I was like, Jesus, can you get to the door? You turn to the side. My goodness, you just
right? Like I was like,
look,
I was like, man, you don't even need all the muscles. You got fucking anger man powers.
Let me squeeze over to the side so you can get past me with your shoulder.
It's like seeing the dude.
Just the rest of your jacket. Some more fabric on his jacket.
And honestly, and I have noticed little things like just in terms of the costume design, they make him seem larger than he is. Every pair of jeans he wears are cuffed twice, so it looks like they're riding a little bit. He's got on Converse, which if you wear Chuck Taylors, everybody's feet look big in Chuck Taylors. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the way they're designed.
Yeah.
They got my man in some Chuck Taylors with a double cuff. It looks like all his clothes are just like too small. Like it gives him this perception of being even bigger than he is. Then he's standing next to Ben Kingsley.
I was about to say.
He just looks big.
Like a wall standing next to Ben Kingsley.
Right. He just looks humongous. And then, of course, you see him standing
in that first scene where he in that little bitty ass trailer.
Right.
Go outside and turn around.
Right. You know, he let the little thing up, and I was like, what? This is apartment?
Even in the movies, in the seat, he's
right.
He all scrunched in, like nigga. Go to Regal.
Well, I can't wait to come back and do a full review. I figure let's talk with our people, and next week
let's go live next week.
Yeah, we'll go live next week, and we'll do a full review.
We love the lives
because I feel like everybody will have it watched. Teresa has already watched it in full. We'll all get it watched by Wednesday.
Teresa will probably watch it again.
We knew Teresa was in there.
Yeah,
Big screen HD
she had that
Let's
thing.
just cross our fingers, folks,
4K.
for shower scene.
Hey, my thing. Hey,
I'm,
Keep those. Keep hope alive.
You know what?
completely uncrossed.
I am
You know
not
what?
gonna steal
Look,
your joy. I am not.
Brandy,
gonna
I was about to
steal
say,
your
look,
joy.
I'm gonna say this.
I hope you get that.
I know there's
shower
some
scene.
Y'all
scenes.
got naked boobs
Look,
in the
I know there's
shower.
some scenes I be looking for. So on just
Do
for
we get a
you,
boob
Listen,
scene
I'll
already?
don't be coming to me.
that out. But let's see if we can't get some special guests next week since we're talking some Marvel stuff. I'll let them know and maybe they can get caught up and have all of their stuff in place. But of course, we're gonna ask you to do the thing, you know, we always ask you to do every time. RG has the honor of hosting our QR code tonight. So be sure to click that QR code. There it is right there. Got it in one. Got it in one. Ask you to do the things like subscribe, you know what I'm saying? Follow us everywhere. We have our socials. It believe it or not, folks, it really does help us. You know, don't be afraid to share this with your friends. Tell them about the group and let them know they can follow us too, so they can enjoy all of this fun time. But that is just a quick little preview of where we are on this series Wonder Man. We'll be back next week with a full review. So join us then. It will be a live show. So tell your friends, come in, be a part of the conversation. For RG, Brandy, Jeffrey, I am Elder Geek Sam, and we are out of here. Peace.